Hey guys, we are back at Oberland Station, and today we're going to be building two different guard stations, one on either side of Oberland Station. Now, there was a lot of experimenting that went on during the construction process, so I'm going to jump around a lot in today's video, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm very excited to share it with you. So let's get started, shall we? So once again, we are using the boxcar mod. Now this mod allows you to build boxcars as well as shipping containers from right inside the build menu. Now, here at Oberland Station, we have this Minuteman checkpoint, which is home to several Minutemen who basically, are stationed here at this checkpoint. But given its location, kind of in the center, near the center of the map at least, we're going to have a lot of traveling Minutemen. Now, these two boxcar guard stations that we're building today are basically built to house those guys. So it's temporary housing for any traveling Minutemen in the area. And this particular boxcar that we're building here is going to house any officers that might be traveling with their troops, anywhere, across the Commonwealth. So now that we have the main structure of the boxcar built, we can go ahead and start replacing pieces from the wood tile set. And I really like the way the wood kind of contrasts with the metal of the boxcar. It gives it a really good wasteland feel, really improvised. And everything just kind of snaps together, so you don't actually have to glitch those pieces in. And I think it looks pretty good. So I decided against having these pieces stick off the end, at least for this this particular guard station. We are going to replace a lot of the sides of the boxcar with wood. It's kind of a readily available material, and I know, again, it makes it look a little bit more, fitting for the wasteland. Like they found this boxcar, and then we're able to just kind of scavenge together some wood and rebuild it so that it can still be a secure structure. And I just really love the way the metal and the wood mix together. It just looks really good. So we're going to go ahead and replace a little bit more of the side walls with some wood and corrugated steel. Just wanted to kind of show that process. Just removing bits of the boxcar wall and adding it with the half walls, mixing it in with some wood, corrugated steel. It's a little too much corrugated steel there. I'm going to go ahead and replace that before the final tour. But I really like this next part here where it's that half wall of wood, half wall of metal, and at the end it kind of looks like they just attached the wood directly to the metal. Maybe it was a little extra rusted in that part and they just had to reinforce it. But it's mostly about breaking up the textures and just giving you something a little bit more interesting to look at, and a little bit more wastelandy. So as you can see here, the structure is nearly complete. Just have to add a few finishing touches. We're going to go ahead and start with the railings here, just to keep you from falling off. And just like the walls, we want to vary the texture here a little bit. So now we're going to go ahead and add some turret stands. Now, I believe these are the same turret stands from the Covenant settlement. And, we're just going to clip them right to the side. Just a matter of getting the placement right. That one here is a little bit too far back. So just have to move it forward a bit. So now that we have the turret stands, we're going to go ahead and place some turrets. Now I got these from a mod that basically just adds a whole bunch of extra turrets, and it also removes the power requirement for the new turrets that it adds. Just makes it really convenient when you're placing them down. You don't have to worry about wiring them up. I don't quite remember which mod this is, but I'll go ahead and link that in a Google Doc in the description. Almost lined up. Nice. So now that we have the structure complete, we can go ahead and move it outside of the settlement bounds using place everywhere, and it can provide a little bit of protection for the tracks leading up to Oberland Station. Just a matter of lining it up against the tracks, more or less. Perfect. On to the second structure. Now that first guard station we built was to house any officers that are traveling the Commonwealth. And this second structure will be for any soldiers that are accompanying those officers. So we're going to need a little bit more space for living quarters on the inside, so we're not going to be able to have an internal staircase. So the settlers are going to have to use the ladders that are attached to these end caps here. And they're not actually going to be able to use the ladders, but it'll be fine. And like with the previous structure, we're going to go ahead and build the shell, and then we're going to replace bits of it with wood. In order to accommodate the extra soldiers that are going to be living in this structure, we're going to go ahead and use these shack walls that have the roofs attached to kind of extend out the internal space a little bit. And then we're just going to use these half walls as barriers in between the living quarters, just to provide a little bit of separation for the interior space. Snap this other wall on there, and should be good to go. With the bottom floor all planned out, we can go ahead and start work on the upper floor. And since we don't have an internal staircase to worry about, we can go ahead and use floorboards to cover the entire roof. And you can see here, just snaps on into place, similar to how the other structure worked. And just like we did on the bottom floor, we're going to go ahead and use the shack walls with the roofs attached to kind of increase the floor space that we have to house the settlers. And I'm just going to snap these into place. Now you can see here, it's wanting to snap the wrong way. Turns out it's trying to snap to the wall, so we just have to move that out of the way. And of course I forgot that we're outside of settlement bounds, so I have to run back and grab that shack wall again. And this time it snaps right into place. Just gotta put the walls back in and should be good to go. Nice. Now because we extended out the upper floor and it sticks over quite a bit, we don't want that floating, so we have to use these supports. Now I got these from the Homemaker mod, and they're not quite long enough, so we're gonna have to go ahead and glitch two of them together. Place everywhere is really good for that. So just a matter of lining them up. You can see I have a little bit of trouble here, but if you fiddle with it long enough, you get it, you get it to match up. So you can see there, almost got it. There it is. Nice. So we still have a few floating bits to take care of, mainly the lower floor there where the living quarters are. So we're just going to use these junk fences that also come with the Homemaker mod, and just going to get them so that they cover up that gap there at the bottom, but we want to get them close enough so they're still attached. They look attached, but we don't want them to actually clip through the floor. So you can see there I'm pulling them away from the wall just a little bit. No clipping. Nice. Now to finish off the exterior, we just need to use some of these warehouse pieces. Now these kind of torn apart corrugated steel walls are going to go really nicely on these end caps here. So we're just going to lower them in, similar to what we did with the junk fences there. You just want to get them close enough so that they're attached but not clipping through. And we're going to go ahead and use the other side here and just put it into place so you just don't see any of that gap. And I really like the way they meld together. With the exterior completed, we just need to add a couple more dividers for the living quarters. So we're going to go ahead and use these half walls, one from Vanilla and two from the Homemaker mod, just to kind of change up so we don't have the exact same texture repeating. And we're just going to go ahead and use the upper floor there as a guide so we can get it in there straight. Just a matter of clipping it to with the floor and then making sure that it's lined up with the floor of the boxcar. Perfect. Time for the tour. So this is the approach from the Grey Garden side of Oberland Station, just across the bridge that's behind us. And I really like the way this kind of rickety wooden structure perched atop the boxcar. It just looks really good. Very wastelandy. Heading up the stairs inside, and you can see there's some storage. Looks like we got some beer barrels there and some various crates. Here's our first living quarters. You can see this guy has his meal set out. We got some ammo and whatnot. The bed there from Thematic and Practical. It's a great mod, by the way. And of course, Got some propaganda from the Minuteman morale pack. Looks like a little stash of food and a hub flower, of course. And here we have trusty laser musket. These are the Minutemen after all. What Minutemen stronghold would be complete without their traditional weaponry? So moving along in this common area, now it is fairly bare in here, and that kind of fits with the people living in these quarters. They're, nomadic, right? They're traveling Minutemen, so decoration is going to be kind of to a minimum. Here we have a little seating area, another thematic and practical bed, and of course there's a meal set out, a little bit of whiskey there too. They are soldiers after all. And another laser musket, of course. Now let's head on upstairs where we have our guard platform. And of course we have a great view. Got Oberland Station there. And look at that unobstructed view all the way around. You can see any trouble coming from quite far away. Of course you have your laser turret keeping an eye on things. And here we have another main area. Looks like a couple more meals set out. A little bit of reading material. A little place to sit and relax when you're not on duty. Then of course we have our guard station here, looking out over the road. And of course you have some ammo set out and a blood pack, just in case you're injured during the battle. And you have a great view of the tracks, leading all the way across the bridge there. See any trouble heading your way. So here we are, approaching from the opposite direction. And of course you have your Minuteman colors there. Now coming around this side, we have a little private seating area. Now there are a lot of soldiers living in this particular structure, so a nice little quiet place to sit, be alone with your thoughts. Now I added a bit more defense to this particular guard station with the sandbags and then the turrets a little bit lower to the ground. The train station just up the tracks there has a lot of ghouls in it, so I figured, with the ghouls around, and sure they could go clear them out, but just in case more appear, you want to have a little bit more defense on this side. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. That just looks great. And of course we have some Minuteman propaganda there, rebuilding America. Now with this build, we have completed Oberland Station, so you should expect a final settlement tour in the next week or so. I just have to add a few more settlers before that video comes out, and then we'll do a full tour. Should be fun. So, this is for the soldiers, so of course there's a weapons workbench there, and a little bit of propaganda on the wall, and a little stash of weapons. So now these are kind of bunk style. They are soldiers, so I tried to give a little bit of personalization to each area. But again, decoration is kind of minimal because they are traveling Minutemen, of course. But you can see there's a little bit of propaganda in most of these. A few personal effects, not too much. You can see this guy here is a traveling sniper. Of course, gotta have some beer, take the edge off at the end of the day. And then here in the back, we have kind of a common area for relaxation. Have some food on the shelf there, and a little meal set out, Nuka-Cola Quantum. Gotta refresh that AP. That painting there is from a Evil Viking mod. I believe that comes from the Minuteman Morale Pack. Not 100% sure, but all my mods will be linked in a Google Doc in the description there. Some alcohol and some ammo. Fresh fruit, of course. One of the benefits of being a Minuteman. Now this guy here, definitely heavy weapons. He has the bobblehead there to prove it. We come over here, and this guy's all business. You can see some armor set out there, as well as some ammo ready to go. little bit of a Nuka-Cola problem he has, but yeah, not the worst thing to be addicted to. Of course, you have the Minuteman colors there. Now let's head to the roof and check out the rest of the common area. So here we are on the roof, and you can see here, first thing we come across is a little seating area. You have some alcohol and a lit cigarette, of course, and you have your sidearm just in case there's any trouble you need to take care of quickly. We have some food set out on the table, ready to be prepared. Definitely one of the benefits of being in the Minutemen and protecting all these settlements is they do provide with all the supplies that they need. A little bit of propaganda, remind everybody that order is safety, and of course we all need to work together to make the Commonwealth work for us. And here we have the shack on top. Now this is a little guard area. There's going to be some seating up here. You can see the supplies and the duffel bag there with, I imagine, more weapons inside. Now of course the Minutemen are also scavengers, so we have some scavenging tools here, a little bit of cleaning supplies. Of course, your typical join or die Minuteman propaganda. And over here we have a little breakfast or meal area. Watch the sunrise or the sunset and take in a meal. That is quite the spread they have. And look at that view. You can see any trouble coming a mile away. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Comment down below, if you have any questions for me or you have any ideas for me. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see when my next video goes live. I believe I'm going to be back at Starlight and of course the final tour here at Oberland. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and until then, enjoy your time in the Commonwealth.